What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Retro Hoop Collectibles. This is our PSA weekly output update. And I gotta tell y'all, I was doubting myself for a few minutes there when I was pulling the data. I double checked it, triple checked it, erased it, pulled it again, because I couldn't believe the number that I saw. It was a massive number. I mean, yeah, I don't know what happened. I don't know what's going on over at PSA, but man, they kicked it into gear. And this is, you guys will see in a second. Before we do that, if you have not already, please follow me on Instagram, Retro Hoop Breaks. Those followers are steady climbing. So please follow me there. I post a lot there. Also, a lot of you guys reach out to me on Instagram with your beautiful words of encouragement, which I highly appreciate. So thank you very much for those of you who have already followed. If you have not, go ahead and follow me on at Retro Hoop Breaks. Also, check out collect3dprints.com. I'll link in the description below. This is a little project that I've been helping my brother work on, but it's display cases to get those beautiful slabs out of your boxes and onto your shelves to display them proudly. Got them for PSA, BGS, SGC, HGA, and for mag holders as well, available in a couple of different colors. Collect3dprints.com. Check it out when you guys get a chance. Pretty cheap, and they make for pretty good display cases, as you guys can see back in the bike back there. Got all my stuff back there, all my Jordans, got some Kemps, my little Funko Pops back there. Everything's jamming. So check it out, collect3dprints.com. Let's get into the business for this week. If you have not already and seen my video on complete through dates and the recent announcement that PSA did regarding complete through dates, I was very happy to see that they made an announcement regarding that. And I was actually coming off of that, I was hoping to see some changes in the complete through dates, but there was nothing. Or at least I was hoping to see a difference in how they do complete through dates, because like, for example, they in the actual in the actual post that they did this thing here, which I was really hoping that this would be the way that they're going to present complete through dates going forward, which would be great, because that'll give you more of a sense of where they're at, as opposed to just a complete through date. So I was really hoping that we were going to see, instead of this format, we were going to see this other format, which is, you know, the service level, the complete through date, and then the percentage of completion. Because I got to tell y'all, none of these moved. None of them moved. I mean, none of them moved. They're all the same from last week. And so, but we understand why now. And if you haven't watched that video, I'll link it up at the top. I'll link it in the description, and so you guys can watch that video also. But I was really hoping to get some, you know, something out of that this week. But based on the numbers that they did this week, I'm really expecting them to, you know, I'm expecting these complete through dates to really do some moving. So before we jump into the actual numbers themselves, if you have not watched the first video where I explained the logic and all the kind of the assumptions that we had to make for in order to put this together, go ahead and watch that. But check this out: 189,000 cards were graded last week. 189,000 cards. That is almost double when we first started. So, I mean, completely blew my prediction out of the water. I was thinking about 150. I think at some point I had predicted 180, but it wasn't going to be until like the end of this month. But they're already there. I mean, they're almost 190,000 cards that they did, which is insane. I mean, that's over 50,000. Oh shoot. Why does it not do that? Why doesn't it do the math? I need to get Excel. There it is. 50,000 cards more than the previous month. I mean, that is ridiculous. That is a lot of cards that they did. Again, the majority of it, I think when I looked at it, was all basketball. Big chunk of it was basketball. Sorry, guys. My allergies are kicking my ass. 75,000 basketball cards. 75,000. The previous week, they had only done 50,000. That's 25,000 more cards. 23,000 more cards that they did last week. Let's see what that week change is. I mean, just look at that. They did 51,000 baseball cards. The previous week, they only did 35,000. 75 to, I mean, just across the board went absolutely bananas. TCG dropped, however. That's interesting. I don't know. That's weird. Oh, no, it didn't. What am I talking about? No, it didn't. It went up almost 10,000, 8,000 cards. I mean, just a massive, massive, massive week for PSA in terms of output. I think they're getting it together in terms of I mean, they're going to get it together in terms of turnaround times. They really are. But the next thing that's going to rear its ugly little head is, okay, yeah, you're getting them turned around in time, but how consistent and how accurate are the grades? I mean, that's really the next question, honestly, is how well are the grades? I saw this the other day, and I here's the credits. Becky Appleyard and Ludkins Media. I saw this on Reddit the other day, which is hilarious. Like all these cards going through the scanner, and then it gives it their grades. But this is PSA, so there's no subgrades. I don't know why they got subgrades on there, but that was pretty funny. It's like going through this machine being, I guess, what, I don't know, the new company that they have, the AI or the scanning company. I thought that was pretty funny. I figured I'd show you guys that. I saw that on Reddit, so, you know, credit to Becky Appleyard at Ludkins Media for the funny little thing there. Anyway, but man, I mean, I really think they're getting it together in terms of turnaround times, and as far as like, you know, like being able to get cards like in and out of the system, which is great, which means that a lot of you are going to start seeing your cards coming back. But man, I mean, I'm watching YouTube video after YouTube video where they're just getting absolutely killed on the grades. I mean, watch PSA Collector's latest video. I mean, not PSA, graded card. What is he? Graded Card Investor. I mean, his last video where he got back a bunch of cards, I mean, just got murdered. I think he got a 7 or a 5 on one of his cards. Like, it was ridiculous. Just absolutely ridiculous. Go back and watch that. I might do a reaction video to that just because it was just brutal, man. And so, you know, here we go again, right? So the three things that we're talking about. I'm doing this weekly update because I want to see if they're making any progress on whether or not they're going to up their, you know, capacity and be able to get cards out quicker and do all that stuff. And it seems like they are, which is good. It seems like they're getting it together in terms, they're getting it together operationally, and being able to put out more and more cards, which is great. That means that, you know, whenever they turn things back on, you know, they should be able to handle the volume, which is great. That's great. That's what the hobby needs. That's what the hobby's, you know, demanding, right? But that's only one part of the problem with PSA. The other part is their customer service, which, again, it seems like they're getting that together as well. I've seen a lot of you post in the comments about your interactions recently with PSA and their customer service and how it's been great. They're getting back to you, and you guys are getting your emails answered and things like that in a timely manner, which is great. But the last thing, and to me the most important thing, is the actual service, right? Is the actual service. How well are they grading these cards, and how accurately? But that piece of it still has yet to be determined, because, like I said, I've watched a ton of returns, like video returns, of people, getting back their subs that they submitted last year or whatever, and just absolutely brutal grading. I mean, their grading is all over the place. And, a few of you have reached out to me, about, whether it be on Instagram or just on email and stuff like that, just kind of asking me like questions and what you guys think, what I think y'all should do in certain scenarios. And a lot of people are asking me like, hey man, should I, I have these cards that I want to get sub, like, should I send them to SGC or should I hold them for PSA? And I'm like, well, it all depends on, the answer used to be, well, it depends on what you want to do, right? Do you want it back quicker, and is it for your PC? Then go to SGC, right? If you're looking to flip it, then the best bang for your buck is going to be to go with PSA. If it's a high dollar card and it's worth a lot of money, then you're going to get the highest return on PSA. If you get a PSA 10 or a PSA 9, right? If you have a card that you thought was going to get a PSA 9 that's worth even a couple $1,000s in a PSA 9 because it's such a high dollar card, chances are you're going to get an 8 or a 7. I mean, the way things are going and the way things are being played out, you're not going to get that high of a grade. PSA is just not handing out high grades for some reason. Whether it's warranted or unwarranted, that's, that can be speculated. But I'll say this, as far as them killing it on turnaround times, I mean, you guys see it. Here's the progress, right? We started at 111,000 output at the beginning of, or kind of middle of April, and then now here we are 2 months later, and they've almost doubled their output. That's impressive. I mean, from a process standpoint, from an operational standpoint, that's impressive. You doubled your output in 2 months. That's impressive. So what does that do for us in terms of what we think they're going to do, or when we think they're going to be done? And that was a big old jump. Last month was 10-12, or last week. I mean, that's almost a whole week jump right there. Let's see here. What does this do here? I think this is something that I forgot to do last month or last week. That's why it didn't jump around too much. All right. So if they had a 4 million card backlog, we're still looking at September. We're looking at December. If they had a 6 million, we're looking at February of next year. If they had an 8 million card backlog, and a 10 million card backlog puts us all the way out to May of next year. But steadily making progress. I mean, this was January. If it was a 6 million card backlog, this was January, and now we're into 2021. So I can see where, as they're getting towards this July 1st goal, them turning on, Express, I think it was, that they were looking to turn on, which is great. I think if they turn on Express, that leaves them, with, sorry, I got a phone call there. If they turn on Express, that's going to be cool. And we'll see how obviously the influx that they're going to get, I don't know if it's going to outpace this 189,000. I don't even know where to predict next week at based on this. I got to imagine they're probably going to hit around 190,000 next week again. And I wouldn't be surprised if they ramp up from here. The last maybe 2 or 3 weeks before the July 1st, reopening of services or the next service. Don't be surprised if they go ahead and bump this up again. They're really making a big push to get everything out. So we'll see. Does this follow kind of no, it doesn't. I was really looking for a trend here, but It's just kind of all over the place. But anyway, man, just a massive, massive week from PSA. I mean, congrats to them. But they still need to work on the grading. The grading is still all over the place, and there is no rhyme or reason to how they grade, it seems. And I wish they would say something about it, you know? I wish they would say, hey, guys, listen, we're tightening up, you know? We were a little loosey-goosey, and now we're tightening up. So I just, you know, that would be something that they could, you know, fall back on and go, hey, guys, listen, you know, the integrity of what we're doing here. But see, they're not going to do that, though, because if they did that, then that means that everything that was previously graded is going to be just crap, right? If you're holding on to a PSA card in one of those old slabs, you know, it's going to get interesting. Which, that's another topic of discussion, is at what point do we start going, okay, any slab past this serial number was graded during this mad grading dash. I don't know. That's an interesting topic, and whether or not the values of those are any different from, say, like an old legacy slab or something. I don't know. I've been thinking about that lately. I might do a video on that. But anyway, PSA killed it this week. Thank you guys so much for checking in every week with me. I know this is on the radar for a lot of you guys as we drop this every week. I'll continue to drop it every week. And then even after they open up services, we'll redo this chart to you know, manipulate some of the logic to include that into the daily influx, and then we'll go from there. But hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, share this with your friends, share it on your Facebook groups and Instagram groups or whatever. There's no Instagram groups, just Facebook groups. And I'll catch you guys next week for the next update. Love y'all. Peace.